I think we're really happy with it. I think that people have taken to it, and it's nice to see people kind of relating to the music in their own way. You know, even in ways that you didn't even intend. You know, they're just kind of taken and has a life of its own. So that's really exciting for me.
It's really awesome that your first song that you released, that you debuted at #1 on the Homebrew.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. How did you feel about that, and what did you do? What is your reaction?
Jeez, I actually found out about that because the album had only been out for 1 week, and I found out about that in my first interview ever on radio on Homebrew. And it was like, I was like so nervous to be on air, and like my first interview. Don't worry. Yeah, so it was my first interview, and like I don't know, I was just terrified, and you know that kind of relaxed me a bit. Felt like I was actually meant to be there. You know? So it was quite nice. Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. Really unexpected.
Hi Jesse, it's Brian again. I just want to ask you, other hobbies, I mean, other than your music and that, any love for cars or motorcycle? Something like that?
Man, I play a lot of squash, you know, I'm into like movies, I watch a lot of like art movies, kind of nerdy, I guess. And, I don't know, what am I did boxing for a while. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in like the things that I do, you know, I enjoy music and I enjoy my studying and stuff, so yeah. I do have like, I don't have a lot of free time anyway, so it's quite hard.
Does that mean no girlfriend? Sorry, I know one question. Does that mean no girlfriend?
Yeah, no girlfriend.
Just judging by the quality of the album, the production on it is absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
David Gresham record label must be awesome working with the legend. Can you talk just a bit about the guys who are on your production team and who's helped you make this quite a success?
Yeah, man, it was really a team effort here, I must say. Like I was very inexperienced, you know, I'd recorded demos, but I didn't know what production entailed and what mixing and all these things entailed. So, you know, we kind of put the demos out into the industry and just saw what the feedback was, and you know, a lot of people came back, but with positive you know, responses, but the one person who came back really positive was Brian O'Shea, actually, who he produced like Arno Carstens and Watershed, and he's like quite a legend in the industry. And he actually produced the album eventually, but geez, he really kind of led me along and just gave me so much insights and just helped me, you know, because he's so experienced, you know, and I was sort of so inexperienced, so we kind of balanced each other off, and man, it was a really exciting process, and you know, obviously, you know, getting signed to Grisham was a huge honor, and you know, he's also had nothing but good things to say, and just so much advice. I really think that, you know, the success we had was really quite amazing, you know, considering how inexperienced and you know, new I am and everything. I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that, you know, we had a good production, and yeah, we had a good record company behind us. You know, I was just very lucky that those people liked the album, and I think that it was nice that they liked the album itself. You know, it wasn't like you know, Johnny Clegg son will sign you, whatever. That, you know, we had to fight to get signed, and we had to negotiate, and you know, and Brian was on the album because he liked the songs. You know, he always said that he was like, these songs are cool. I'll be on this album. You know, so it was a real compliment. That was really nice. Thanks.
Anybody else with further questions?
I have a question. There we go. Hi, Jesse. I'm Claudia from the Next 48 Hours. And you say that you're pretty new at the whole rock star thing, and it sounds like you didn't do so much performing when you were younger. It was more like you and your guitar by yourself. Did the whole getting on stage performing thing come totally naturally?
It actually didn't. Like I've always performed. Like I performed all through high school, but basically just guitar and voice. You know, it was just like an acoustic thing with just me and my guitar. And in the last 2 years, I've kind of been exposed to band performance, which is quite completely different actually. And yeah, it's been quite a you know, I think that in the last years that's probably been the biggest challenge for me. Just, you know, kind of getting into that. And when I recorded the album, I actually didn't have a band at all. You know, I played a lot of the instruments and hired session musicians and stuff. So, you know, once we had like a hit on radio, we were like, okay, we've got a #1 hit, but we don't even have a band. So we had to, like, you know, quickly put a band together and just start performing. So I was kind of like thrown in the deep end, you know. So yeah, I kind of had to. It was like trial by fire. I kind of had to just learn as quickly as possible. But I mean, I've performed all my life. You know, it's just a different animal when you're performing with a band. You know, I think it's actually a bit easier, to be honest. I think that's, you know, once you get used to it, and there's, you know, lots of sounds and the monitor mix and all that. That's a bit difficult. But you know, it's really nice when you get used to your musicians and you kind of have that like. That confidence behind you, you know, you have this like well-oiled machine, and you know that even if you mess up, you know, you'll still be okay. So, yeah, it's been a good experience.
How's it, Jesse?
How you, man?
Good. Given the icon that your dad is in the music industry and the legacy he's created, are you hoping to leave the same kind of mark? Are you something you aspire to? What do you intend to do with it? Do you want to leave a mark?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone wants to leave a mark in some ways. You know, if I'm that lucky, I'd love to. I think that at this stage, I'm focusing on my songwriting. You know, I think it's one thing my dad's actually always said to me is that if you focus on your legacy, there won't be a legacy. You know, you have to do it because you want to do it and because you love it, and not because you want to have a legacy. And that's never been an ambition of mine. It's just I've always been in music because I love music, and you know, if something comes out of it and there's you know, there's big success and we go overseas and stuff, then that's great. But it won't change the fact that I'm always going to write songs, you know. And I'd love to make a mark like he did, you know, obviously. And yeah, I think that it's important to keep focused on why you got into it, and you know, what it means to you. So yeah.
First, do you have any more questions? Please feel free. That Irma's walking around with the microphone. Don't feel shy.
Is that it?
Hi, Dex Goodman from What's on SA. Do you think that in any way your being the son of Johnny Clegg has somehow impacted on you having such a quick rise to fame and?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think that you know, it's opened some doors for me, but it's also closed other doors. I think that it's a weird trade-off, because I think that, you know, I suppose my dad has given me a few contacts in terms of, you know, we had Brian O'Shea's phone number, so we phoned him, that kind of thing. But like, I think that people coming to the album, you know, listening to it for the first time, are also going to have preconceptions about it, and they may be a bit skeptical. And you know, it's a strange trade-off. I think that the thing that I think has really helped me in terms of having a dad who, you know, who he is, and you know, having him been in the industry for so long. The one thing that I can really say that has really given me an advantage is the fact that he has so much good advice. You know, he's just really shown me how to put everything into perspective and to just plan properly and to know what's important and what's not that important, you know. And I think that advice is actually what I treasure the most. You know, there's always going to be people that are interested because of who you are, and also not interested because of who you are, and that's a trade-off. But actually, I think that at the end of the day, you know, I'm always going to be writing songs, and it's what I enjoy. And you know, it's always nice to have that mentor and someone who can actually help you out, and you know, who inspires you and what, you know, shows you why you're doing it as well. So yeah, it's been a part of the success, you know, for me personally, I think.
Thank you.
We've got one more at the back. I think we're going to start wrapping up, so if you do have a question for Jesse, please start putting it in your mind.
Jesse?
Hi, man.
Would you ever consider doing like a duet or something with someone like Louise Garber or something?
Yeah, man. You know, I'd love to do that. I think that you know, actually, I'm doing some work with Dan Pedlansky. I don't know if you guys know, blues guitarist. And yeah, I'd really be keen to work with some SA musicians. You know, I think that we have a really great industry at the moment. So I think that, yeah, I'd be honoured to actually.